Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to me. I appreciate all of it. It means the world. So today we're going to just talk about the basics of brushing and flossing. Literally, this is what I preach every day at work. And I have for years now. Again, I've been a hygienist for I'm going on 21 years. So a long time. I've learned a lot. And I'm still learning. I learn from you guys every day. So, and it's awesome because what I see is what I go off of. So products and different things that people use, which I'm super big on products. I'm real picky, which we'll get into that later. But yeah, I get to see the results visually with my own eyeballs, what happens in mouths in the chair every day. Because I don't care what product it is, whether it's soap, lotion, laundry detergent, floor cleaner, whatever. Anything that you use, there's a result, and you have to physically use it to know whether it works or not for you. So let's talk about the basics because I'm getting off the subject. Brushing and flossing. Okay, you'll hear me preach this 1,000,001 times. I'm a big believer in the water pick. I don't love string flossing. It works for people who have super healthy mouths. Not everybody has super healthy mouths. 60% of the population has gum disease, periodontal disease. I don't know the statistic on gingivitis, but I would guess it's probably the other. If 60% got perio disease, you probably got another 35% that have gingivitis, and the remaining have healthy mouths, which is maybe roughly 5% of the population. Just to show you, doggy. So every once in a while you'll hear that snorting. I'll try to keep him out of here, but it's hard sometimes. So there he is. I'll get back on subject here. So again, I don't want to go to like statistics, but I do know there's 60% of the population that has periodontal disease. So, there's another 40% of you that either have gingivitis or healthy mouths, but most of the time people do not take the best care of their mouth. So the things that I preach the most, consistency, okay? You literally need to spend 5 minutes a day on your teeth and your mouth to help keep it healthy. Everybody's different. Everybody's genes are different. Everybody's genetics are different. Everybody's bacteria loads in their mouth are different. So yeah, some people build more tartar than others. Some people have more plaque. Some people have dry mouth. Some people have medication-induced dry mouth. Some people have actual xerostomia. It can be defined or diagnosed as Sjogren's syndrome. That's an autoimmune disease. But there are a whole bunch of things that can affect the flora of the mouth and the bacteria that's in there. So one thing that I preach all the time and everyone needs to know, your mouth is full of bacteria. It has good bacteria, bad bacteria, fungus, you name it, it's in there. Good, bad, and indifferent. You never have to eat or drink anything and you will have plaque grow on your teeth, okay? Plaque is constantly growing on your teeth. Why? It's made up of bacteria. The bacteria live in our mouth. Our mouths are a cesspool of bacteria and fungus, just like I said, good, bad, and indifferent. So the bacteria grow together and they form colonies, and the colonies grow and grow and grow, and then you have soft plaque on your teeth. So this is why you can brush your teeth in the morning, and by 5-6 o'clock in the evening, you'll have fuzz on your teeth. I call it fuzz. It feels like carpet, where your teeth feel fuzzy. That's plaque that's grown on your teeth all day long. Now you, like I said, never have to eat or drink anything, and you will have plaque grow on your teeth. Why? The bacteria is present in your mouth all the time. So what's our job is to disrupt it. When you go in there and every time you do something to help clean your mouth, you're going to disrupt the bacteria and blow the colonies apart. So then this way they don't keep growing and growing and growing. Then eventually you have this pile of plaque on your teeth. That's bacteria. That will take roughly 3 months to harden into tartar. It gets in your system, so it's on your teeth. Then it gets into your bloodstream, then it circulates through your heart, and then it circulates through your organs, and it's back through your mouth, and you have this bacteria just growing all the way around. So all of the gum tissue on our mouth is about the size of the palm of your hand. So if you were to take all the tissue out of your mouth, that's about the size of the palm of your hand. So if all of this was inflamed and you had a cut on your skin anywhere on your external part of your body this big, you'd lose your mind. So because it's in our mouth, gum disease normally doesn't hurt, neither does gingivitis. So, and most cavities don't hurt until they get really deep in the teeth. So all of these things, people are like, well, I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that. Well, yeah, most of the time you don't have perfect hygiene either, okay? So accept it. It's fine. again, like I preach to my patients, I don't want them to lie to me. Like, just be honest with me so that I can help you. So I ask the 50 questions because I need to be able to help them to learn to tweak whatever they're doing at home, right or wrong, just to make sure that they're getting the best result that they can with the tools that they have. Eating and drinking, yeah, that contributes to all of the buildup. So what do you need to do every day? That's the whole point of this. You need to brush for 2 minutes in the morning. You need to brush for 2 minutes at night, and you need 1 minute, in my personal opinion, 1 minute use of the water pick. Now, some people like to floss. If you want to floss, fine, but you still need to floss once a day. So that's a total of 5 minutes, roughly, because the water pick takes you about a minute to use. Flossing can take you 30 seconds. I mean, you could sit there and floss your teeth for 20 minutes if you wanted to. But that's it. It's 5 minutes. And I don't care if you brush the first thing when you get up in the morning. I don't care if you eat breakfast first and then brush your teeth. That doesn't matter. You just need to do it. The water pick, same thing. You need to use it at the time of day that's the most convenient for you. There's some people, it works in their morning schedule the best. Some people, it's nighttime. Some people, it's 3 in the afternoon. I personally, my hygienist myself, I tell my patients, I don't care when you use it. Just use it. It doesn't matter. Just get it in your mouth 1 time out of the day. I don't care. If you want to use it twice, eat your heart out. That's even better. Do it. It doesn't matter. You just need to do it. And at night, you need to brush your teeth before you go to bed, because it is the time where the bacteria goes the fastest, because our mouths are drier. Our saliva is not getting stimulated from the thought of food, the smell of food, chewing food, our mouth talking, anything. We're usually sleeping, but our mouth can be open, which causes it to be drier. When your mouth's drier, you have plaque grow faster. So the most important time to brush your teeth is before you go to bed. Last thing you do, if you want to drink something, drink some water. Don't drink a sugary drink and then go to bed. Now, if you were the person that brushes once a day and that's it, and you're tired or you're this or that or whatever at the end of the day, I mean, I've heard all the excuses in the world, then my big thing is to a person that comes to me, because again, I work at a periodontist office, so everybody I treat has periodontal disease. They are more advanced, they have dirtier mouths, they're harder to keep clean, they have more bacteria, they have all kinds of issues. They can have diabetes, they can have all heart issues, all the things that can cause and contribute to periodontal disease. So if someone's brand new to me and they have not good habits, they've never used a water pick, they don't really floss, they brush once a day, I have them start with brushing twice a day. I don't like to throw a lot of things at people because it can be overwhelming. Again, you cannot go to the dentist for 5 years, and to go in the door, that's a huge step for you, and that's a huge win. Then if someone throws 16 things at you to do when you go home, you're not going to do any of them because you're just overwhelmed. So I like to take baby steps. So my first thing is take your phone, put a timer on, put it face down, brush your teeth. When you're done, you're done. Look at your timer. Don't try to go 2 minutes. Don't try to go any longer than you normally would. Just see how long you brush your teeth, so you have an idea of what you're doing. You don't need to explain it to me. You don't need to explain it to your spouse or your partner or your kids or your hygienist. You don't need to tell anybody. It's just information for yourself to gather, to know, okay, I'm only brushing my teeth 20 seconds once a day. That's not nearly enough time, okay? So that's my big thing. Find out how much time you're brushing, and then start there. Start with a 2-minute brushing in the morning and a 2-minute brushing at night, and time yourself. If you have an electric toothbrush, a Sonicare, an Oral-B, they all have timers on them. The Sonicare shut off after 2 minutes. The Crests, I think they have a longer timer on. The new electric one, the IO, it has a 5-minute timer on it. So it won't shut off until after 5 minutes, but they have a clock on them. They have a little ticker that tells you. Some of them have a thing you can stick on your mirror and it'll tell you at 2 minutes and give you a smiley face, you're done. You want to reach that 2-minute mark. Why? Because your teeth are not boxes. They're not squares like this picture behind me. They're rounded, they're curved, they have points, they have concavities, they have all kinds of things. If you hear groaning, it's the dog over here. If you just go in there and scrub really quick, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it's not enough. You're barely brushing the teeth. You're barely getting over it. If they were boxes, 30 seconds, you could be done. You'd have no problem. But because of the curvatures and the roundness and stuff to them, you will brush every tooth 3 to 4 times when you're brushing them, because that is considered a thorough brushing. You'll go around and around and around and around, and that's where you get in all the nooks and crannies. That's where you slow down, you take your time. You're not brushing rubber on your tire of your car. you're brushing your teeth and your gums. You don't need heavy pressure. Light pressure, soft bristled toothbrush, soft, 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 soft. If not, get an extra soft, and brush your teeth. If your bristles are flaring out within 2 weeks of you getting a brush, you're brushing too hard. So those are the little things. And then again, with your flossing or your water pick, that needs to happen once a day. If you want to go twice, eat your heart out. If you like to floss in the car with the picks, great. But in my next video, I'm going to demo how to properly floss if you're going to use string floss, because there is a technique to it. And if you can't perfect the technique, screw it, throw it out the window and start using a water pick, okay? Because it's just, in my opinion, easier. And these things should be easy and simple, but they need to be consistent habits. If you brush twice a day for 2 minutes each time, that's your 4 minutes of brushing. And then if you use your water pick or a string of floss, you get another minute of cleaning your mouth in there. That's 5 minutes a day. So consistently over time, if you're doing that over and over and over, where it becomes so habitual, you can't go to bed without brushing your teeth. You can't leave your house without brushing your teeth. That's where the magic happens, because then you're not allowing the bacteria to take over your mouth. You're keeping it under control so that you do not create an infection in your mouth that affects your heart, that can affect your liver, that can affect your diabetes, that can affect all these other things that go on in your mouth, because it boils down to inflammation. And we know what inflammation can cause with a lot of things. So it's very, very important. And you'll hear a lot of hygienists preach the oral systemic link. Oral, systemic, meaning the whole body. And it is linked together, because the same blood that's in your head, that's in your finger, that's in your toe, that's in your ears, that's in your mouth, it all gets filtered and pumped through your heart. So if you have, again, an infection this big on all of your gum tissue because you have gingivitis or periodontal disease, where do you think that blood's pumping through? Your heart. And if you don't think that bacteria and all that stuff is creating issues and inflammation in the heart and causing you to be drained and sick, it does. You may not feel like it because it's gradually happened over time, slowly, but it happens and it's huge. I hope that helps. So that's it for this video. So it's the consistency. So real quick, if you floss when you leave the dentist every day for 2 weeks, and then you do nothing, and let's say you go to the dentist every 6 months, you do all the things for 2 weeks and you literally stop and do nothing for the next 5.5 months, that's not going to get you a result. It's going to keep you on the same cycle, and you're just going to have gingivitis and gingivitis and gingivitis and gingivitis. It's just going to rotate on the wheel because you're not manually removing the bacteria and the plaque from your teeth, okay? So the consistency boils down to, first, again, if you do not brush twice a day, my opinion, you need to brush twice a day for 2 minutes. Once that becomes a habit and you can't, like I said, leave the house or go to bed without brushing your teeth, which is what we want, then you start incorporating the flossing, okay? Just take one thing at a time with yourself. Be patient, be kind, be flexible, one thing at a time. Then we're gonna start flossing or using a water pick. And if you could be the type of person you need to do it every day to be a habit. There's some people that are really good twice a week. If you're really good twice a week, every week, that is so much more consistent and so much better than once a day, every 2 weeks, and then nothing for 5.5 months or nothing for 2.5 months. Like, it's the consistency over time. It pays off because you're disrupting the bacteria. You're blowing the colonies apart. So you're not allowing them to navigate to make your mouth sick and your body, okay? So that's where the consistency boils down to. So be kind, be courteous, be patient. Work on the brushing, incorporate the water pick or the floss. And if you're 3 times a week, 4 times a week with the water pick or the floss, or 5 times a week, that is excellent. I'm a human being too. I know what perfection is because I am a perfectionist, but I'm realistic with myself. I use my water pick 5 days a week, every week, but I usually slack on the weekends. Why? Because it's the weekend and I'm human and I don't want to do it before I go to bed. Now, I never leave without brushing and I never go to bed without brushing. That I cannot do. But my water pick, I'll slack on it on the weekends. Now, a lot of times I'll pick up floss picks, and dig around my teeth, which is fine. I'm still doing something to get in between. But I love the water pick. I love the results from it. So it's like, okay, but I'm consistent 5 days a week all the time. So, except if you go on vacation too, this is where you have to have grace with yourself. No one's going to lug their giant water pick unless you have a portable cordless one that's travel and easy to go or travel with. You're not going to travel with it. So if you go on vacation for a week or 2 weeks, it's okay. Have the grace with yourself. Take floss picks or something else. And if you don't floss at all, so what? You checked out of reality for a week or 2 weeks. It's okay. I'm sure you still brushed your teeth. You just weren't perfect on your flossing and stuff. It's all right. It happens. We're human. You got to be flexible with everything. So there's my consistency preach. So again, 5 minutes a day is total that you need to spend on your teeth, and the consistency over time matters. I wanted to interject here and say one thing because I feel that I'm going to get a lot of questions about this. But notice, yes, I did not recommend mouthwash. I want to make this very clear and explain why. The marketing of mouthwash is fantastic. Yeah, they market that it's 100% clean of your mouth. Well, two analogies. That's the dog. Two analogies for you to show you how it doesn't work, okay? And the mechanical removal and disruption of plaque and bacteria is what works. So let's say you take a truck, go out and go through some serious mud and four-wheeling. So by the time you go to wash your vehicle, it is caked with mud. I mean, roof to tires, everything underneath. Now, if you go to a pressure washer or a car wash, that you can only spray your vehicle, okay? Only spray your vehicle, because remember this analogy is about mouth rinse. And you take a pressure washer and you spray your entire vehicle all the way around with just the pressure washer, okay? You will still have residual dirt on the car. That's analogy number one, okay? Because you have to still wash the car to get the residual dirt off. Same thing goes if you live in salt and snow and you have snow come in, they salt the roads, you go to spray your car off, you still have residual salt and dirt on your car because you have to mechanically wipe it to remove it, okay? Same thing if you had a spoonful of peanut butter and you ran it under water. There's still peanut butter and oil on that spoon. It doesn't come off unless you mechanically rub it and remove it. Mouthwash does the same thing. It'll rinse away food debris, so will water, and water is a neutral thing. It will rinse away food debris, get rid of big loose stuff, and just kind of neutralize the acid being produced in your mouth from eating and drinking. Water does, not mouthwash, but it just removes big stuff. It doesn't remove the pile of plaque that's sitting on your teeth that has been growing from 6 a.m. and now it's 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. and you need to go to bed and you need to brush your teeth. So I want to make that very clear on here that I do not recommend mouthwash. If you're brushing and you're using a water pick and a string of floss or a string of floss, you're mechanically disrupting the plaque and bacteria that you need to. Mouthwash isn't necessary. It has become this big fluffy thing, and I can do an entire video on it, and I will because there's ingredients and stuff in there, but it's not going to remove and clean the teeth. It doesn't foam and activate and remove tartar and foam and activate and remove the stuck on plaque that's adhered to the teeth. So I just want that to be really, really clear that, and it answers a lot of questions, that it's not necessary. It's not going to clean your teeth the way brushing, flossing, water pick will. Okay? Hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you guys soon.